lobby of Ramsey Solutions. John and Susan are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Better than I deserve. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
Where do you guys live?
Actually, Dave, we have lived in Gator Country.
Whereabouts in Gator
Tampa.
Country?
Down by Tampa.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, welcome. Good to have you. So how much debt have you paid off?
$142,500.
Way to go. And how long did that take you?
22 months.
Excellent. Making what kind of money?
Started at about $128,000, and now we're about at $158,000.
Good job. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm an occupational therapist.
And I'm retired from the Navy, and also I do IT consulting.
Oh, fun. Well, thank you for your service. Excellent. So what kind of debt was the $142,000?
Student loans were about $35,000. Car loans, $30,000. And then 401k loan, and the rest credit cards.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so did somebody go back to school? Where did the student loans come from?
One was my student loan that I was carrying around forever.
Okay.
And then another was one that I had for my daughter.
Oh, okay. All right. Carrying around forever. How many years?
Probably, I guess, maybe 16 years.
Okay. So you guys recently married? Is that what that indicates, or no?
No, we just had our 30th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what happened 22 months ago?
Well, Dave, I think our story, like a lot of people I've heard recently, kind of began back in 2008 when the market changed. We thought we were doing great. We were living the dream and working and enjoying ourselves in Gainesville. And John lost his job, like many companies were laying people off at that time. And also, I've heard you talk about, having an umbrella because it's going to rain. Well, life rained on us at that time. My father got sick. My mom had dementia. So we had both of them to care for at the same time that John had lost his job. And we were spending a lot of time going back and forth between Gainesville and Brandon, where we live now, and continuing to live on credit card debt to try to maintain our lifestyle. And we had a house that was a fixer-upper, so we were financing a lot of remodeling on the credit cards. So, just all of a sudden, it just kind of snowballed all down on us, and we were swimming in debt.
So what was the day that this occurred? I mean, what was the wake-up call, when the light switch flipped? Because it's pouring down on you, but sometimes people don't even get it then. So what is the day? Do you remember what happened?
I think that it really was it was probably 2013. At that point, we'd still been struggling along. I had taken a second job to try to keep the wheels on the bus, but we had gotten down to $300 in our savings account, and I just absolutely could not breathe anymore. I just was like, my gosh, we make so much money, and we're working so hard, and we can't do it. And I kept driving by a Financial Peace University sign at Riverview Methodist Church. Kept going by there, and finally I said to him, we've got to do something. So we signed up for FPU. Ah,
okay. And you go in there kind of beat down.
Definitely.
Kind of going, I'm making $125,000. I got $300.
Right.
This sucks. Yeah. I got to do something different. And so what happened the first night? Tell me how'd you feel, and what was the turn of events?
Well, actually, for me, Dave, I just didn't really believe it was going to change anything. Because I was so used to everybody telling me a way to change my life to get out of debt, and it never worked. So really, I was pretty, not very optimistic anything was going to change.
Okay.
And I think when we got into the class, there's such a healing thing about being in there with a group. And I really think that made a huge difference for John, but for both of us, that we, when we tallied up at the end of the class, I think it might have been the second class, how much debt the whole class had, I knew we were not alone.
Yeah.
I knew somebody else in there was seriously
You don't
in
feel
debt.
so stupid when you're around some other people that have done some stupid stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know. It's amazing because you kind of think you're the only one that's a screw up.
You do.
And then when you sit and you go, look at those people. They look like they got it all together, and they're screwed up too.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't give you permission to stay there, but there's this sense of release of the shame or the guilt, isn't there?
That's very, very true. And I think that for John and I think, I know I've heard you talk about the powdered butt syndrome. I think there's something that occurs between spouses that you can't receive sometimes encouragement from the other spouse. But when you're in a group dynamic like that, and you hear other people talking about, their willingness to try something crazy like getting rid of the cable or whatever, then your spouse can receive that in a way maybe that they couldn't before. So the group aspect of FPU was, I think, huge for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
John, how far into this before the hope started coming back alive?
I think once I started my wife using technology on me, and I broke up my Excel spreadsheet with my formulas, and I actually started tallying everything up, and then we started hitting a debt. I think that's what really changed it, because as we paid off the first bill the first month, and you start seeing the numbers coming down automatically.
Yep.
That's what changed me.
Yeah.
And then I finally had hope that I said, okay, we can do this. And then, of course, listening to Dave Ramsey Show. And also, I think what's changed for me now, too, is reading other books, too, like, The Millionaire Next Door and all that. Keeps me going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I had to kind of, as a therapist, you call it therapeutic manipulation. I said, what if we got one of those antennas like people used to use? What if you put that up and we hooked it to the TV and everything, and then we would you get rid of the cable then? So all of that kind of helped, and I think him doing the spreadsheets and all really helped. But then he's just gone crazy with this. We have these great detailed Excel spreadsheets. We have every dollar now on our phones, so that's helping out a lot. And it's been incredible. We're totally different people. I mean, if this was a 12-step program, we're here to get our chip. You know what I mean? We're our sobriety chip. So.
That's it. I love it. Well, that's perfect. Excellent. That's very good. That's it. That's where you are. You're the heroes. You've won the race, and you get to get the trophy. I mean, that's what you're doing here today. But it's a great story too, and I really love hearing that the group idea around Financial Peace University is encouraging. Also kind of holds you accountable after a while.
Absolutely.
A little further down in the class. That doesn't happen like the first night or anything, but you get down there that 8th week and you're screwing off. Somebody will call you on it.
Absolutely.
And so so very good, you guys. So how's it feel now after 30 years? Your debt.
It's actually pretty hard because we're still Dave Ramsey-ified.
We're having a hard time spending money, We're just, shout out to all my coworkers at South Bay that have listened to me, the hospital that I work at, and my Dave-isms for the last couple years, and they all got Total Money Makeover books, all the family, but they've really listened to us. And it's funny because anytime I'm talking about, I said, we're going to go to Tennessee, and they were all like, well, would Dave approve of that? Everything is about what Dave thinks. And John and I do that a lot. What would Dave think?
Well, it's kind of code for, is this common sense?
Exactly right.
Yeah, very good.
Right.
Congratulations, you guys. All right, John and Susan, Tampa, Florida, $142,000 paid off in 22 months, making 128 to 158. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Way to go, you two. I love it. I love it. I love it.